Where's the Steve Power Band? LOL. In parentheses.
Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of NeoGAF News. As I said in my earlier videos, that this episode of NeoGAF News will focus entirely on the PlayStation 4 See the Future event. So we'll start with, this episode will entirely focus on NeoGAF's reaction to stuff. So we'll start with the PlayStation 4 has 8 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM. And Strike said, How is this possible? I do have to wonder how it is possible, because that's a lot of RAM. Strafer said, so with 8 gigabytes of RAM, what can we expect? Bigger levels? More enemies? Lonely One said $599 US, surprising to say the least. Cook said, I think it's really interesting that when it was first thought to be 4 gigabytes of GDDR5, there was a lot of talk that PS4 still might have the advantage if Microsoft is indeed using GDDR3. I'm having a hard time comprehending just what kind of glorious results we'll see if the specs on the new Xbox turn out to be true. We might finally see multi-platform games looking better on a Sony console for the first time ever. Brad Gruntz said the sound you hear was Durango's last leg being kicked out for underdoing. Moving on, we'll talk about some of the games. Infamous Second Son. When it comes to the famous Second Son announcement, Gadrock said, all hands on deck. This made the PS4 conference today for me. I was waiting for you guys to unveil this beautiful work, sucker bunch. The fact that it continues with the Infamous continuity, along with the fact that you answer everyone's prayers by continuing Infamous with a new take, is amazing. Now on PS4. I'm getting this. I will. Okay. I won't get in the way of you getting that. At all. Hollow Viewpoint said, LOL, this was Sony's giant enemy crab moment. Van Winkle quoted that and said, LOL, what? You're insane. And then Hollow Point said, in response to Van Winkle, note, in 2005, Sony presentations and something along the lines are based on Japanese history, and all of a sudden, here's a giant enemy crab. Now in 2013, they started introducing what seemed like a realistic type of game. Real-life, wildly this, surveillance that, and all of a sudden, what if you had superpowers? I'm telling you, giant enemy crab moment. And then Sid said, what? Superpowers in a realistic world is one of the main points of Infamous. Why? I am Shadowlark asked, why is some of the press so down on Sony for presenting a gameless platform? It's been a couple of days since the PS4 reveal, and now that the dust is settling, I've watched the conference in full, and I'm absolutely loving what Sony is pushing. Not to say that the event itself was the best, he goes on to say that he really liked everything in the show. But I'm really wondering why some of this, I understand that a lot of the mainstream press have no real understanding of how the game industry works, so I expect some of the media to wonder why the PS4 isn't some tablet device or whatever. But still, everyone isn't oblivious. Does anyone care to weigh in? Killer Travis says the conference was underwhelming, as simple as that. Well, Killer Travis, you're wrong. And Skyzor said they lost confidence in the number of hardcore gamers with money. There is literally nothing else Sony can do except give you free games and knock one out for you. Free PS Plus membership bundles would be a good if they have a decent launch, but it's so close now, I can't wait for new glimpses. Yoshida on remote plays. Yoshida said with the remote play, we asked for developers' PS Vita controller mapping. And Diffuser asked, but if a game uses all buttons, including the L3 and R3, how are they going to map out to the Vita? Walker said touchscreen and touchpad are most likely going to be most commonly used solutions. I agree with this, which kind of sucks because they need a solution, but I agree with it. by Salsa Shark. Salsa Shark posted a thread titled "So Killzone Pseudo confirms that PS4 aims at 1080p/30 frames per second. Expected disappointing. Loud Ninja said it's a launch title, so that's a good start." And Moonlight Wave said, "I expect 1080p 30 frames per second for most games this gen. It's 2013 after all." Takuya said probably using 4 gigabytes of that RAM on the developer kit since it looks like 8 gigabytes was a very late addition. And I agree with all that. 1080p itself is good as long as they can keep a steady 30 frames per second, then that would be really good for me. Just not dip like a lot of Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 games do. But today I'm going to do something a bit different besides reading just the threads on NeoGAF. Thanks to the Twitter NeoGAF shitposts at NeoGAF shitpost. I don't want to say that word anymore. Thanks to that, I have favorited a few. This guy tweets out posts of very stupid posts on NeoGAF, and I have favorited a few of them, and I just want to read them off. Let me find them. Hang on. Anyone else feel there are way too many threads on PS4 right now? I can't keep up. Good job, Bob. Posted that one. Grutz said, "The 360 controller being acceptable for non-first-person shooter games is a new one to me, as others mentioned Bayonetta is a pain on the Xbox 360 controller." Trodeke, whatever. "I can't believe some people are referring to the Killzone footage as something to compare to. It really wasn't impressive at all." And another post, Ori said, "Yeah, I just saw some of the prices on that GDDR5 RAM and read up about it. Good luck with that, Sony. Hello." TCRS actually posted a thread that said, "My PS4 hype has died over Jimmy Fallon shooting with R1. Jimmy Fallon was demoing Killzone Liberation Force. "I realized this guy on the left kept pressing the R1 to shoot at one point. Jimmy even says, tap R1, tap R1. The video has brought to my hype to a screenshot. I can't stand shooting with the shoulder buttons. It's one of those things I hated most about the PS3 and made mad enjoyable for me. After the first pictures of the DS4 release, I was hyped because the triggers looked really good, and I thought Sony had a change of mind and we really shoot with the triggers. Where else would you give us such beautiful triggers? Jimmy even said to me that the triggers are good for first-person shooters. Ugh. It's not a minor thing to me. I play a lot of shooters, and I want to be able to shoot with given triggers. Why make it so painfully complicated? So while at first I was like, oh shit, Sony was done everything right, focus on games, 8 gigabytes, etc. This is a console to jump on. I am now reconsidering even ordering a PS4, because given nothing changes, I mean, who knows? They might allow us to map the controllers according to our game lifestyles, but I doubt it. So while my hype has died for the time being, how's yours doing? Encountered any deal breakers so far?" This guy's overly dramatic. Of course you're gonna be able to shoot with the triggers, you stupid. And that was posted. Did I say who it was posted by? It was posted by TCRS. If I did say it, then you deserved it to hear it again. TCRS posted that stupid thread. Okay. And a couple of posts from the thread titled, "Do people really care about disk-based backward compatibility with PS2 and PS1 games?" World Revolution, not to be confused with myself, which is Wii Revolution, on NeoGAF, said, "The idea of disc/physical content actually disgusts me. Putting discs from 1995 in my 2013 machine? Oh god, have they put the catalog of old games on PNC? And awesome. If not, that old shit can go rot in my closet. Backward compatibility. Do not care." And another post by Baller PhD. "No one does." Well, okay, I guess some people do. But they are an extreme minority and should not be taken into consideration when companies need to make decisions like this. I'm a grown man with responsibilities. I don't have much time to play games as it is. What little time I do have Sure as shit isn't going to be spent on last gen games I've already played. Most people are in my same situation as those that aren't get their shit together. So yeah, back on compatibility is dumb. If you have a huge collection of games for all consoles, that means you have the old console too. Just bust it out if you want to play a good game. Although I recommend that you start wanting to play those old games. It is weird. And that's the post I'm leaving with. Baller PhD wins the worst post in this video. I'm going to start a new segment. Worst post in each month's episode of NeoGAF News. Even though there's been like 3 NeoGAF News this month. But it's going to go back to 1 next month. Thank you for this episode of NeoGAF News. Look for the next regular NeoGAF News with gaming and off-topic news on March 19th, 2013. Until next time, see ya. Wahoo! 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 Thanks for watching. New NeoGAF News every month. Check back every Tuesday and Saturday for a brand new video. I do singing videos, YouTube news, and more.